So in this day and age, we've got relatable memes, relatable influencers, e.g. Instagram, YouTube, and we've always had relatable quotes. So I thought I'd draw from that and make you guys some relatable sweets. You'll understand exactly what I'm talking about in just a second. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so this is what I mean by relatable. We've all experienced it. You're getting cozy after a really hot summer's day, and then you hear it. Mosquitoes, suckers. Or you're out with friends and family having a great day, and then not only do you get ambushed by little suckers, they send in the cavalry. So today, I'm going to show you how I made these mozzie, splattable chocolate spheres. Enjoy. Okay, so to make these squishy characters, I didn't have any fancy hemisphere molds on hand, so I just used what I had, which was my cake pop mold, and I covered all the cavities with chocolate all the way to the top, making sure you've got really good coverage. And then between coats, which I did times 3, I just gave them a chill and then recoated them. On to unmolding these little babies very carefully. Pop them out one by one, and then just pop them aside on a tray. They're not quite ready to go yet. Gee, I wish I worked that fast. Ta-da! Chocolate hemispheres. Okay, so to make our jammy, gooey, bloody mozzie filling, I took 2.5-ish cups of freeze-dried strawberries, added some sugar, a cup of sugar, 1 cup of water, and then gave them a really good stir. Strawberry. I popped them on the stove on a medium heat, stirred them around and reduced them, and added a gelatin blob, which gave me the right consistency, sort of not too thin. I needed it a little bit firmer so it didn't seep out of the spheres. I'm popping it on a plate now and then into the fridge and then back out to make sure that it was the right consistency. Then I put it into my little blender, that mixture into my little blender, like so, and I give it a good zhuzh. That's a technical term, you know, zhuzh, technical term. There we go, all zhuzhed. Okay, now I get a lot of blowout in this footage and I really apologise, my lighting was bad. But I've used about 10 drops of Americolour tulip red because it doesn't give that bitter taste, I love it. And then about 5 drops, I think, of the super red, and then 1 drop of warm brown. I need that real bloody colour, don't forget the brown, it makes all the difference. Mix all that up and we have our filling ready to go. Okay, so this was an impromptu sort of spur of the moment thing also. I've got a million wax melt thingies hanging around the house that I never use. So I cleaned one up, repurposed it by putting some foil over the top of it, took my half spheres and just rubbed them over the top of the heating element to make them smooth at the top so they fit together better. It worked a treat. Oh, Ink has the filling into the piping bag. It's just a beautiful moment. Oh, did you see that? I reversed it, I couldn't help myself. Into the piping bag, snip off the end, and filling half of our spheres with that gooey goodness. Into the freezer for about 10 minutes, then using my makeshift heating element again, I heat both sides of the spheres, an empty side and a filled side, sandwich them together, and they melt beautifully together and make our spheres. Gorgeous. Okay, to make our legs, I used some 22 gauge wire that I cut into 5cm pieces and just hooked each end in opposite directions. You could use, what could you use? Royal icing or chocolate or sugar even to do that, to make it completely edible. But I just used wires this time. To attach the wires, I popped a little bit of chocolate on the bottom of one of the spheres, popped it onto a plate, and then put a little bit of chocolate on the end of every leg and added it one by one. Very, very fiddly, but so worth it. I actually got the idea for these guys from this awesome video I've seen that I think is hilarious, but I got a strange sense of humor. It's called If Animals Were Round. I'm going to pop a link right here, right now. Pop on over and watch it. Pop on over and watch it for yourself. It's very, very clever. Okay, now I'm making those cute little gelatin wings. I went overkill with my gelatin. I think I did about 4 teaspoons of water to 3 teaspoons of gelatin, but I was in a rush, wanted to get it done quickly, so I would recommend going maybe a little bit more water or a little less gelatin. I mixed it up, bloomed it, chucked it in the microwave for about 10-15 seconds, let it cool a little bit, and set it aside while I made the wire frames. I made the wire frames with about a 30 gauge wire, looped the top of them like that, and cut them ready to go. I popped them inside the gelatin like you would put a bubble wand inside bubble solution, and it catches it just the same. Then it dries and you've got a cute little gelatin wing. To make the eyes, I took some white fondant, just white fondant on its own, and rolled it into tiny, teeny little balls. Like I said, fiddly, but well worth it in the end. To make these nasty stingers, I took some black fondant and just rolled it into a very long pointed cone shape. There they are, ready to attach. Okay, to colour this guy, I did something a little bit left of centre. I took some Rose Decorator's Spirit and added some edible art paint. I'm pretty sure they recommend not to use it in airbrushes, and it's because it dries so quickly, it clogs them up really, really quickly. But I thought I'd give it a go because I didn't have any proper colours that wouldn't bead my chocolate, so I used them. In hindsight, I definitely would have coloured my chocolate black first, and probably looked for black wires if I didn't use edible items. Now I'm adding the stinger and eyeballs with just a dot of chocolate, tiny little bit of chocolate that I actually went over later and just tidied that up with a bit more of the edible art paint. So it all matched in, all black. Once those eyes are on, you want nimble hands. I took a toothpick in some more of the edible art paint and just popped one little dot on each eye for his little eyeballs. There he is. And one more tricky part is getting those wings on. Once again, attaching with just the tiniest bit of chocolate, and I painted it up later. And there he is, our splattable chocolate mozzie. Guys, that's it for another week. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed creating these little critters for you. Don't forget to please like and subscribe and hit the little notification bell down the bottom so you don't miss any of the videos that I have coming for you very, very soon. And don't forget to go over and have a look at that other video that I mentioned before, my inspiration for these little sphere, mozzie, splattable thingies. Oh, the revenge was so sweet. Literally, in every sense of the word. I'm Janine, this is Bows and Mosey Cake Studio, and I will see you next time. Bye.